Okay, so here we go, clearing the classes. As you know, this is a Christmas gift, and the classes are designed to help you weed out the toxic emotions and feelings that you may have right now, getting in the way of you creating a business and a life that you love to look at. So let's rewire you for success. So, guys, I just want to say something at this point. I was talking to someone today, and, they've done a lot of personal work on themselves in the last year, actually with a kinesiologist. But the thing is, they weren't working on the business. So, while personal work's really, really great, everyone's got to be doing their own personal development. What I love about this work is that we're connecting it directly to business. Because what I've found, and after years and years of doing this work, that when your business is going well, you're making sales, you're doing your deeper work in the world, your best work, your unique gift, there's a whole lot of stuff that you don't need to fix up with personal development. There's a whole lot of trauma, there's a whole lot of emotional problems that you actually aren't having. So what we're doing in this class is we're linking everything to business. I know business isn't everything in the world, but what I've found is when this is going well, there's more of a chance that a whole lot of other stuff's going well. When you're making money, it can actually tidy up quite a bit of stuff. So, this is why we connect this directly to business. So this is what this is about, connecting to business. So we've got 7 steps, and we've been through already 5 of them: vision, desire, belief, acceptance, and intention. And today is behave. And then I think it's the most beautiful one. We're going to be doing that on Thursday or Wednesday if you're in the States. And it's the final one before we release into Christmas. And that is allowance. So I'm really excited to be doing that one. So once again, we just go repetitions, like really great for mastery. You need a vision, and Kelly's going to be doing this later. You need a clear picture of what it is that you want to achieve. You must have a strong desire for it. You have to believe that it's possible. You must accept yourself and your new belief as true. And you must intend to manifest it with all your willpower, with focus and conscious choice. And then you must behave, and this is what we're working in today, that you've already created it, that it's already here. And that's really hard if you're looking at your cash flow, or you've had a bit of a business injury, or things haven't gone that well for you at this point in your year, in your business. It's really hard to behave like, yeah, it's all great. I've actually made those sales, or I've got those type of clients that I'm working with. So this is the state that we're going to try and get into today. And step 7 is allowance. The biggest challenge of all. We're doing this on Thursday. You've got to surrender everything about it. And I mean everything, not like, oh, look, I can let it go. As long as I can get that, we've got to really let it go and see what comes in, what comes back. But we've got to keep the intensity without the expectation. This is when we really get next level, because we're really releasing it into, I don't know if we want to say a higher power or a higher ideal of what we can't even see at the moment. Okay, so now that you have a clear vision, you're fully connecting to desiring that vision strongly, and you've weeded out some of these stuck beliefs that not just yours, but your perception of other people's beliefs about you. In other words, we've cleared your allergy to what they think about you. We love that little technique for that. And you're accepting this belief to be true, and you have intention, giving your vision consistent, focused attention. That means you're kind of tapping into it every day, and you're coming back with a focused attention as to what you want. You're not hustling. You're just being very stable and very grounded and keeping your attention on this vision or this goal that you're trying to create, even when you're thrown off track. Next, we have behave. So this is what we're doing today. How do you behave as if this is it? This is what's happening. Okay, so to behave is about action. So you must act as if it already exists in your present. You've got to behave and act as if it already is here now. You need to ground your ideas and your vision in the actions that you do. In other words, you need to walk your talk, and your body language must represent what it is that you want. So you've got to get around as that person who already has those 4 clients that you had your mind on, that you had your goal set on getting, that you already have your platform up, that you already have, that promotion if you've got a career, or that you've already got the dream team in place, or that your marketing funnel's already working. you've got to actually have the body language. You've got to feel it in your body that that's actually true for you. And this is the hardest thing. We start to think, our body chemistry changes, we start to hunch over, and we start to feel very different about things. And that's the signal that we send out. So often when we're thinking forward to what we want, we go out of the present too. This is like the hardest thing to master, because we're thinking about our goals, but we go out of the present. And then we're just one of those people that are hustling, or we're not really present, or we've become a workaholic, or we're getting obsessed about an outcome. We're not really noticing the opportunities around us. And we become impatient with ourselves and with others. Like, we can get really, really antsy. We're not that nice to be around when we're in this state. And sometimes we can live months and years like this, always trying to reach a moving target. And this is not being in flow. This is not the best way. And sometimes you might wake up from 6 months of being like that, and you're like, who have I been? Like, nothing actually happened. I didn't actually achieve everything, but I've missed the season of summer. I missed feeling great in autumn. And I missed, being really present in, during my kids' birthdays or whatever it was, because you were so focused on getting through something and getting to the outcome. So, this is why I love this piece, because this actually, when you get this right, this actually saves lives. This saves families. This saves relationships, because you're not going to sabotage, you're not going to wreck everything by just feeling shitty, basically, because you're waiting for something to happen. And again, energetically, you're sending out the signals that it's not going to happen. Okay, first of all, let's get present with what is now. Like, what is now? What is happening now in your life? What is now? Because the brain isn't stupid. And this is what happens. A lot of people do this journaling, they do this mindset work. The brain's not stupid. It knows that you're not feeling great about everything. So we can't just layer this top feeling on top of this impatience and this lack of gratitude of things, because it's just going to sabotage the new state. And it takes too much energy to kind of brainwash yourself to feel like that. So what we're going to do, which we can do with the magic of kinesiology, we can go underneath and we can lift some of the stuff out of our nervous system. So the brain can actually accept that, yeah, I can imagine feeling like that. Yeah, I can switch into that now. I'm going to do it. I believe you. I can do it. So let's get into that now. So let's dig it out. I want you to write 3 things that you don't like about yourself with regards to behavior. 3 things that are a long way from you being the person of your vision. What are 3 things that are a long way from being the person of your vision? Just write them down. What are 3 things? Maybe you're drinking all the time. Maybe you're eating crap. What are the 3 things? Maybe you're worrying all the time. Maybe you're going to bed at midnight. Maybe you're waking up in the middle of the night and worrying about stuff. Maybe you're overspending. Maybe you're throwing money at shiny objects, hoping that, that's going to work for you. What are 3 things that you don't like about yourself? Is it just the way you look? Is it the way people talk to you and the way you respond? Let's just get them out, because you're surprised what we get in this one. Anybody want to share anything from what they had? Just put your hand up and I'll just unmute you if you want to share. Just even one thing that you're just not really digging about yourself right now? Anyone want to share that? Come on, share. What is ugly? What's not good? What don't you like about your behaviour?
Okay, I'll go.
Okay, go.
It's Jo.
Go.
I feel like I'm being a bit like a glass half empty person, being a bit negative, even though I don't really want to be like that. And I'm worried. And sometimes I feel like I'm being too uptight.
Yeah. And so break it down, guys. Thanks for sharing, Jo, because I want you to break down what is that. We've got to really get into the brain. Otherwise it's just like, oh yeah, I don't want to be uptight. The brain can't work with that. It's like, it's not enough detail. So what is it? Do you get up and you start shouting that there's still dishes on the sink? Like, what is the uptight thing that you do? So does anyone else relate to that? If you are a bit uptight, what are some of the uptight behaviors? And you're not jumping straight in the shower in the morning, you know, like what is happening that's leaving you feel uptight? Are you discussing things with your partner at 10 o'clock at night? See if you guys can break it down. Has anyone else got an uptight thing? Corey, do you want to share what you've got?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, can hear.
I just wrote a lot of stuff. I wrote, I get too overwhelmed and then I procrastinate, so I don't even start. And then I wrote, worrying about what other people think and worrying that I'm too old to do it already. And then the third one was just the thoughts that I think I can't do it. I don't know where to start. It's too hard. And also the money factor. I need to stay in my job because it's consistent income.
Okay, so guys, this is the magic of this. Like that is great. You know, those are great like chapters in a book. But what's the story? Like, what is the character? What is that character? Because we want to get down to body language even. Like, if you're procrastinating, what are you doing? You're getting up and going to the fridge all the time? Like, what does it look like? I want you guys to get really into the detail, because the more detail we can get, and that's why I've just got 3 things, because, you know, your little level of hope might give up because it feels too big to break it down. Actually, it's really easy to get a shift when you break things down to really little things. So this is, you know, we have the big vision, and now with the kinesiology and things, we can get microscopic about it. So just write down 3 things. What does procrastination look like for you? Does it mean that you've got to do yoga, have 10 green juices, tidy up the lounge before you write an email? Maybe it is that. Maybe it's that person that gets up and writes the email first. Like, just, can you see what are the 3 things? Anyone else got any clarity from what I've just said? Just put your hand up. Has anyone got a little bit more to write after those people just sharing? What is this uptight person? Because if you tell your brain not to be uptight, it's just going to rebel. It's going to say, well, you try and not be uptight. You know, what's happening with this and that and this and that? What is the uptight behavior? We really want to change the physiology with this. We want to get really into the physiology. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's clear some of the toxic emotions and memories that you've stored about who this type of person is that gets this outcome. Like, what is the emotion that you have in your body as you're being uptight, as you're, you know, whinging about putting the laundry on the line, whatever it is, feeling like things aren't working. And, you know, hopefully you've all got some pretty basic, really simple things that you do physically that really feeds into that. So let's have a look. Let's find an emotion to clear. You know how this rolls. So when we're doing this kind of class format or this group format, it's everybody gets what they need. That's the mindset. That's the universal law. There'll be something in this moment, in this emotion for everyone that you can grab onto, your brain can use to give you a shift in the full hologram. That's just how we work. So dig deep into this and see what we get. We've got the word stunned. So what does stunned mean to you? Like, often I get stunned with a client. It's like they just feel a bit frozen. They don't know where to start. What is this stunned energy? Just write down stunned. What does stunned mean to you? Where do you feel stunned? It's actually beyond stuck. It's almost like can't move. It's almost a feeling of can't move. Are you stunned by what you see out there with other people doing really well? I mean, that's probably the basis of this work, is to get you out of that whole paradigm of thinking you're getting left behind. So is there anything around stunned for that for you? So what we do is we just automatically write, the circuit's open. It should be really easy just to get a stream of consciousness from that and just write into that.
Jen, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Could this be something outside of myself? So,
Yeah.
for example, being stunned as to something that's happening say, for example, in America?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I know about you too, Pedro, is that you're a massive empath. So your a lot of your energy will have to be looked after with this because you've got a big vision based on a huge empathy for the world. You'll easily short circuit your big plan because of the stunned energy of what you're seeing around you. So that's a really good one for you to just write out.
Okay.
Because we love, in a way, we love that you see this stuff because you're someone who can help change it. But at the same time, it can dismantle your entrepreneur kind of drive and ability because you're picking up so many signals.
Okay. So now, what did you say that I'm a what? What term did you use?
You're very empathetic. You're
Right.
You know, you're
Okay.
an empath, so you can feel a lot of the pain in the planet. You know.
Well, without really getting, into politics, but, stunned as to what's happening,
Yeah.
here in America, with, well, I'm not going to go into details, but
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with that.
So yeah, and I think even it would be for you when we're shifting into this feeling of behaving like you've made some progress with that. So there's some change happening. So we're just writing down about stun. So just go with that.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got the word aggressive. Aggressive. So what could aggressive mean to you guys? Are you feeling aggressive about these goals? You've been pushing really hard. You've been trying to aggressively. Is something aggressive around you? What feels aggressive for you? And just write down what that could be. It's a pretty aggressive time of the year, guys. There's a lot of, seems to be a lot of energy out there. It's a great time to really focus on simplifying your life and being very peaceful, not taking things on too much.
Jen, it's Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, you got this for us another time, and I have trouble with aggressive. Can you pull something for me?
Let's have a look. I've got self-doubt. I've got the word self-doubt. So track into what feels aggressive about self-doubt.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Good. Okay, guys, anyone want to share what they got for stunned or self-doubt? Just put your hand up and I can unmute you. I think so we get one at a time. Just put your hand up if you want to share. Sometimes it really helps other people. Okay, Corey, I'll just unmute you. There you go. Where are you? Yeah.
For the aggressive, I had it's anger towards myself that I haven't done it yet,
Yeah.
that I'm not where I should be, and that it should have been so simple, but I've complicated it in my own mind.
Yeah.
So aggressive, anger at myself that I don't have the confidence to do it, that I haven't done it.
Yeah. And, just remember that you actually have done it, but maybe not to the level that you want, so, yeah, great. So that's great. Anyone else want to share? Joe, did you want to share what you had? I just have to unmute. Can you just unmute?
Do you want me to, is that better? Yeah. I think the two things are linked for me. I've written here that I feel stunned with the change that I've made, even though it's something I've been desperate for. And I really want to let go and embrace this moratorium that I've given myself before I launch back into my work. But then I feel like my work defines me too much and I can't relax with this break that I'm giving myself. And I feel kind of angry and aggressive about that I'm kind of going, oh my God, I'm running out of time. I've got to start back at work again. So I feel like I'm in this kind of turmoil, I suppose.
Okay, good. That's it. So just write more about that and we're going to try and clear it.
Okay.
So let's go. Let's find the clearing on that, guys. I've got the word spirituality. Spirituality's coming up. Let me see if I can get a, write down, what would spirituality mean to you? Does it mean anything to you? Spiritual, let me see if I can get another word off that. Let's have a look. Pure. The other word that you can use is pure if you don't want to use the word spirituality, if it kind of links things to religion or links things to a weird vibe for you. You could use the word pure. And the second word that I've got is achieve. Pure and achieve, or spirituality and achieve, or achieving. So I have spirituality, or I'm pure and I'm achieving. So whichever one of those goals is kind of gonna roll for you, you can do that. Okay, so we'll just mute you all, make sure you're all muted. Let's do the clearing on that. So just saying, my goal for this balance is I am pure, or I'm spiritual, and I'm achieving. So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine the goal after healing. And just imagine having that purity of it's already done. It feels really good. It's a real kind of peaceful feeling. And just feel the sense of achievement that you've already achieved things. And then I want you to bunch up your fingers as we do. If you've got glasses, you flip them off. And then we're just going to take our eyes around like eye yoga. And what we do, it's a bit of an NLP type kinesiology, mash of NLP kinesiology, working in an energetic space. We're going to pull everything from the brain that's stopping you from actually believing that. So you might see if you start to notice where it feels a bit odd. I've had people completely break down in tears with their eyes in different positions. So it'll be very powerful as well. So just notice where, make a note. You don't have to notice which direction necessarily, just notice that, yeah, some parts of that circle don't feel great. Okay, so let's clear one thing on the timeline for this. So I want you to go to, if you're not at this age, you're going to think ahead to this age. Let me get the age that resonates for most people. That's 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15, 20, 25, 25, 25, 26, 27. So I just want you to write down what was happening at 27. What did you feel like at 27? What were you like at 27? And just write down what's happening at 27. How were you not feeling pure, that you weren't achieving, that it was too hard, you had to be aggressive, you had to hustle, you couldn't just be in that state of things working out? And then what I want you to do is put your hand on your forehead and we're going to just tap straight down the midline. So really get a feeling of that, and breathing in and breathing out and breathing in and breathing out and in and out. And normal breathing, and just accept that's what it was like. That's what the feeling's like. Okay, and just say, I now choose. I'm pure, or I'm spiritual, whatever you want to say, and I'm achieving. I now know and believe I am pure and I am achieving. Okay, and just take a breath. Just notice how you feel. Remember, when we're tapping down the midline, it's usually a 24 to 48 hour shift because it's got to travel through your whole nervous system and all your meridians. So do not second guess, oh, that didn't work. We don't want to sabotage on it. Just allow things to shift as you go about your day. Okay, so let's keep going. Once again, I want you to glance at the vision we had in step 1. Write down the person you would be like physically. How would you be behaving what would be your ideal day? It should be ideal instead of idea day. It could be an idea day. So just write down who would you be? Like, what kind of a day would you have? Anything you wrote down before that you're not doing, would you be doing things differently? I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to write that down. Having a glimpse at that woman or that man that's going to achieve that vision, how would you be behaving today? Would you be eating differently? Would you have a team of people helping you? What would it be like? What would your body be like? Would you be leaner? Would you be fitter? Would you be smiling more? Just write that down. And then if anyone wants to share, it'd be interesting, just put up your hand and I can unmute you. If you'd like to share, just so there's a little insight of what you've just seen that you didn't see before on how you'd be behaving. To share, just put your hand up. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to lock it in. So this is a really great kinesiology technique. They use this for things called brain gym. It's not really a kinesiology that I got really deeply into. I have my own kind of style and how I've kind of been what I've been drawn to. But this works really well. So you're not going to be able to see me that well here. But what I want you to do is I want you to stand up and I want you to march. Now, you want to have your knees as symmetrical to the front as you can and your hands. So your hands doing a symmetrical swing, not going out to the side, not going across the front of the body. And I just want you to march. Left, right, and just try and get into a real swing about it. So just want you to start marching and I want you to think about being that person that's doing what you said you wanted to be. How you want it to be. So just march, march, march. March, march, march. You should all be standing up marching. Try and keep your marching as symmetrical as possible. Shane, I can see you're not marching. Get up and have a march. You're probably the king marcher. So have a march and really think about it. When we march it, we get it into our brain pathways. So guys, do the marching because it's going to shift the brain. It's all very well, faking it till you make it's fine, but if you can't get it into your brain, it's not going to work. So I just want you to imagine that you're that person and just do a little march. It should start to feel really good, and just think about being that person who's got the team, who's got the clients, who's got the cash flow, who's not procrastinating, who's got people helping them when they're stunned and stuck, who's actually creating this big movement in the world, whatever it is, and just have a good old swing. Okay, anybody got anything to say about marching? How was that for you? Who didn't do it? Put your hand up if you didn't do it. See how you went. Okay, so the next step, now that we've marched that into your brain, I mean, that's a great thing to do before you get on a client call, guys, or you're going to deliver something, or you're not thinking straight, you've got to write an email, whatever it is. If you want to switch your brain on, you march. Now, the more symmetrical you are, the more your brain's going to, the left and right brain pathways are going to rewire properly. So it's a really good, simple sort of secret hack you can use to start behaving as this is how my body feels when I'm going to get this outcome. So what is the next step goal of the vision? So, it's like we've got to break it down like we're talking about at the beginning of the class. What is the next station on the way to the dream? What's the next station? So preferably it's something that feels achievable in the next 8 weeks or more. So don't, if you've got a massive big goal, which we had the big vision, this is more like the goal. So I just want you to break it down. What is the next step goal of your vision? Is it just to get 4 clients? Is it to, set up the marketing funnel? What is it? What is the next step goal, vision of your goal? What's your next the next thing that's going to light you up that you're going to know you're on the way to that vision. Because if the vision's too big, the brain can't hold the feeling of that person that has got that. So just break down. Anyone want to share what the next breakdown is? What the next breakdown of the station of the dream is? Next station.
I have 6, I guess, registrants for my workshop.
Good. Yeah. What's the big vision?
Basically to work like 6 days a month and be able to still make enough to have extra.
Yep. Okay. So the 6 is good. So yeah. So guys, just put down whatever it is. What's, just like Deborah did. That's great. Just what's the next step? Because you can really sabotage your success by having the vision, writing down the vision every day and focusing on that. It's too big and the brain can't hold it. So we have that, and then we have what's the next step. So then, you know, for Deb, she's going to get around feeling like, oh my God, I've got 6 clients. It feels amazing. I'm on my way to this, but right now I'm really feeling those guys are loving what I'm doing, and et cetera, et cetera. So got to break it down. Otherwise, the brain's going to go, I'm not stupid. I don't believe that. And you're going to start sabotaging it. Okay, so break down that into 6 points of action. What are the 6 things that you need to do? This will help for you, Corey. What's your next, you know, station on the way to where you want to go? And what's 6 points that you do? Try and make it a physical thing. What are the 6 things you're going to do? Here's some examples. I'm going to, you know, someone could be wanting to declutter their house. Maybe it's buying a new house. Maybe it's moving. Creating a marketing funnel. What is that marketing funnel? Exercise this, eat in that way, enroll that many clients, save that much money. What are the 6 things that you're going to do that's going to physically feel like these things are happening? Just write them down. And when you're doing those things, imagine the feeling as well, so you anchor it in. Anyone want to share what some of the points of action that they need to take? The next step, action. Anyone want to share? Give me some of the points that you need to do.
I can tell you some, Jen.
That'll be good.
It's Joe.
Okay.
And I've got those weird numbers. I don't know what the story is there. I need to continue to stretch and strengthen on a physical level.
Yep.
Create a marketing funnel.
Yep.
Write up a strategy for building corporate clients. My goal is to have 4 corporate clients for next year. I have 1 at the moment.
Yep.
Plan the terms for all the private clients.
Yeah.
And meeting with Penny Booth in a week's time to talk about taking Stretch to Thailand, to Bangkok.
Awesome. That's a good vision that you've already seeded a long time ago. So
yeah.
What's the second one that you had? What was the second one?
Create a marketing funnel.
And what was the next
one? Write up a strategy for building the corporate client, like how I'm actually going to find those clients. Like, what's my action going to be?
Yeah. And what was the next one?
Planning all the terms for next year. So if I'm going to do 4 terms a year plus workshops, special workshops, and start to launch the emotional stretch release as well.
Yeah.
Like how I'm going to factor that all in to the year.
You've got some work to do. So, you know, getting back to that aggressive thing, don't be afraid to, if you've got ideas, don't be afraid to do them, because, you know, I had a call with someone this morning. It's like this forced taking a break. If you've got ideas, as long as you're not becoming obsessive, when you're in flow, you just write them out. If you got the feeling and you can take the break, you just go and do it.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm working now, I'm not working now. You just get in flow, and then it's just going to come a lot more easily.
Okay, thanks, Jen.
Okay, let's clear some of the resistance to this. What's the resistance? Has anyone got anything on their list that they just don't know how to start? They just don't know how to get there. It feels like it's a to-do list. Has anyone got that? It feels like it's a big fat to-do list. Okay, so let's clear some of the resistance. I've got chaotic. So what feels chaotic? Pick one of those things that just feels chaotic. Because it's like a domino. Flow is a domino. If we get one thing, we can often get everything. What feels chaotic? What is a chaotic energy? Which one? Which one of those things feels a bit chaotic? Anyone want to share which one in particular has got a bit of a chaotic energy around it?
I do.
Yeah.
So I had for number 2 was reach out to 100 local businesses. And the chaotic thing was most of them will probably be closed for the next 2 weeks. In my mind, I'm thinking they're not going to want to talk to me about being referral partners.
Yeah, okay. And maybe that's not the strategy too. Maybe it's a different way of getting them than actually reaching out in that way. So just feel into the chaos of that. Exasperated. Who's got it? Who's got exasperated? What is exasperated? What are you feeling exasperated about? Write that down. What feels exasperated?
Hey Jan, it's Kelly.
Hey Kelly, yeah.
Hey, I have a colleague at work who is all about drama, and it just runs on this adrenaline and drama all the time and just sucks everybody into it. And the way she talks to anybody, at any of her colleagues, clients, she's as sweet as pie to, but any of us interior designers that she works with, she'll just rip shreds off us. She'll yell at us, and it's just exhausting. Like I hate drama, and I'm the sort of person who will stand up and say, hey, don't talk to us that way. Or I know you're having a hard day, but you can't treat everybody this way. And then she'll just attack me. And so I've had several run-ins with her, and she's can be a really generous and lovely person, but she just has a side to it and this energy around her that just drains everybody. And I'm just exhausted.
Okay, so this is really interesting. So you're always going to get, not always, but often you're going to get this in a workplace, because this is a challenge. So let's kind of break it down from the brain. What is that? How is she stopping you getting this next goal?
I find myself distracted and caught up in the drama, and unable to focus because I feel traumatized by her anger and negative energy, and then it takes all of my energy just to calm down from that, and then or to help others to calm down from the way that she's interacted with them.
Yeah, so what I got for that was you're just unable to focus. You're unable to focus. So which of the things, looking at what you just wrote on that list, let's see if we go back to it. What is on your list that you need to focus on the most? Your next step goal, what's the things that you need to focus on?
I'm kind of thinking self-care.
Self-care, okay. So I want you to write down how, let's clean it out. I want you to write down how having this toxic person at work or this toxic energy at work is stopping you having self-care. So can you just write a few paragraphs on that? Let's download a bit of information on that so we can clear it.
Okay.
Pedro, you've got your hand up? Yep.
Yes. The lady that just spoke, I don't know her name.
Kelly.
Yes. That's exactly how I feel. I've shared with you privately about my living situation, so it has to do with that. Living around a toxic household member, and pretty much what she said. It's this drama and this anger and just absolutely toxic energy.
Okay, so again, try and do the same process. Go back to the 6 points of action and work out which one is it stopping. Because if we can shift one, they can all shift. Because if it's too big a problem, the brain can't solve it.
I see.
So you'll get the stunned, you'll get the stuck. Sometimes we just need to show, okay, well, actually that person or that situation is stopping me exercise. Say it's exercising every day. If I just look at that list on there. Okay, that's not going to stop me doing that. I'm going to get up at this time. I'm going to exercise. And in that exercise, I'm going to decide to whatever. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes just a little thing can shift the energy.
I see. Okay, fantastic. Thank
What
you.
we're doing is we're getting really smart with the kinesiology. What I reckon it's doing anyway, I reckon we get really smart about our energy and how we're thinking so that we can anchor into how, you know, a bit of momentum and what we want to do. Rather than just be hit with feelings, we process feelings with a little bit more smartness and think, okay, I'm going to make sure that I do that, and then I've got more strategies will come in as to how to deal with that person. But guys, you know, on this, let's definitely clear these people, your allergy to these people as well. Okay, let's look for the positive that we want. We've got leadership, the word leadership instead of chaotic. And vitality instead of exasperated. Okay, so I'm just going to mute you all in case you're not muted. So just say my goal for this balance is leadership and vitality. So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine the goal after healing, what it's going to be like to just stand in that leadership and in that vitality. And again, remember what step we're working on is behaving like it's already happened, like you already have leadership over this situation with these toxic people, or the chaos of having to go and, you know, meet 100 business people that you're not sure if they're going to be open to what you're doing. Feeling the leadership of that energy. And also vitality. The vitality, you know, people are really attracted to vitality. Imagine it being that vital person. And again, if you've got glasses, flip them off. We're going to bunch up our hands and we're going to stack in. What this does, it picks up stuff that would take us so long to work out, bring up, understand. We're just going to stack it all the way into the circuit. So it's on the radar and it's taken care of with the tapping on some level, as best it can be right now. So again, turn your eyes around, feel the stretch. And we just tap what you wrote. So just tapping down, you know, the story about these people, the story about these 100 business owners, what feels chaotic and exasperating, whatever you wrote down, just really thinking about it, breathing in and breathing out, and tapping and breathing in and breathing out, and in and out, and tap. And just accept that's what it's like. Okay, we're going to find one age for you. So conception of birth, birth to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 20, 25, 30. 32. So if you're not 32, imagine 32. What's happening at 32 for you guys? Anyone wants to share what was happening at 32 that had this similar energy about it? You could not get into this state. Every day you saw these people, you went out of the state of imagining that something had already happened. You're not able to hold the cocoon of this behaving that it's already going to be there, that it's already happened. Anyone want to share what happened at that age, 32? Sometimes it's really interesting.
I had, for chaotic, I had, because I was a new mother and working and had a toxic marriage and exasperated at being in a career that I just felt like I could not win, and no matter what I tried. So that was the feeling for me at 32.
Right, it's so good, Deborah, too, like, because we want to clean up this energy on this brain pathway, because you're thinking about going in and you know, like you want to go in like you can win, you know, so definitely tap for that. Okay, so can you guys, thinking about that age 32 and just tapping down and really breathing into it and breathing in and breathing out and breathing in and breathing out and in and out and normal breathing And just accept, yeah, that's, you know, again, the brain loves it when we accept that something was true. Then it can let it go. It's like the kid that always wants to get acknowledged and hang on, you did that wasn't right. It needs to be told that it was right. Yeah, that was a shitty feeling. I gotcha. I'm with you on that. I'm going to process it out of the primitive part of the brain. So now we're sorted. You can change it into something else. You can be amazing. We're just thinking about that. Yep, and just say out loud, yeah, that's what it was like for me. That's the shit that went down. That's what it was like. That's what those people feel like to me. Sometimes we actually release the whole energetic connection with these people when we do this. So just thinking about those people, those of you who are about exasperated or chaotic around other people. Okay, I now choose leadership and vitality. I now know and believe I have leadership and vitality. Okay, so next step, now seeing the next station in the dream. So I want you to, you know, we've got the big vision, but the brain wants a step that it can really believe right now and behave that way. And the more that these start, you know, the more you start getting to the next station, it's going to be easy to just slip into that feeling like the dream's already done, the vision's already there. So I want you to imagine the feeling of behaving like you've already achieved it. And we're talking about that station, you know, getting those clients that we just, you know, you've just pointed to. And this is a really cool little hack we can use for kinesiology. What it does is we're going to push the thumb up into the roof of your mouth. I should have got you to wash your hands at the beginning. I reminded myself to remind you to go and wash your hands. Hopefully you haven't been, you know, changing the oil in the car or something. So what I want you to do is put the thumb on the roof of your mouth like you're sucking your thumb, okay? And you're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to push that part of your thumb right up to the top of your mouth. This is going to switch on the pineal gland. It switches on the brain. It switches on a whole lot of brain pathways. And also it gives you back your power. So if you're ever feeling not great, you know, those of you that had shared that you weren't feeling great around different people, what you can do is you can just stick the tongue on the roof of your mouth. And what that does is it just seals you in your own power. So you're not taking on other people's energy. If you have a think about, look at me like this, I'm like, as opposed to, got a whole different energy, right? So mouth closed, tongue on the roof of your mouth. But let's do this now. I want you to have a feeling of those clients, the next step of clients, like how many. Someone said they wanted 6 clients. What is the next piece you want in your business? Is it that one job? Is it this one gig that you need? This amount of money, whatever it is. I want you to think about it. And as you breathe in, breathe out, you push up on the sphenoid. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathing out. Just really thinking about that. And if you like, then just tap. Just really get a sense of, yeah, that first station is, you've got off at that station. It feels amazing. You have those clients, you have that outcome, you've got that marketing funnel, whatever it is, all done. You've got that strategy out. You've already done the outline for the classes, whatever it is, and just tapping. And if you feel like you're not really empowered with it, you can push your thumb on the roof of your mouth, breathing in and breathing out, push it up again. So you've got a couple of really cool little kinesiology hacks today. You've got the marching and you've got the thumb sucking, if you like, which can be very, very powerful. Okay, so anybody got a question on that? On the thumb sucking, or how did that feel? Did anyone feel different pushing that up? Anyone want to share how they're feeling about that? Anything? Any questions on any of that and what we've just done?
Could you circle back to, you said there might be another strategy that you were thinking of about the workshop other than reaching out to 100 business owners?
Yeah, I'm not sure, mate. I won't go into it now. But just have another think about it. Maybe it's just a targeting on a Facebook ad, the local businesses, rather than kind of door knocking.
Okay.
Yeah, or just an email that can go out to get a VA to work out, give you all the details, and you can just do it that way. There'll be different ones to just feel into that and see if there's a better strategy.
Okay. Thank you.
Jen, can I ask you about the sphenoid hack?
Yeah.
Do you use that more to emphasize positive thoughts, or if you?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I use it more to just to get power back, to get you aligned and back in your body. You know what I mean?
So it's still a bit like the marching one?
A little bit like the marching one, but you can use it, the way I use kinesiology, I'm a little bit of a cowboy with it. I just use it wherever I want. If I tested this, remember I'm creating this for you guys, the morning of or the day before. And this tested up is to be what everyone would need, just to really lock in this feeling of behaving like it's already happened. It's almost like getting their power back. And interestingly, we had 2 people on the call that are just watching it now, let alone the replay, who are actually other people are taking their power and getting them off focus. So, and this is what I love about the way that I work with it all, is it's always in flow with what people are needing. So, intellectually, the sphenoid's usually about getting back power, because the pineal gland, it's linked to depression, it's linked to anxiety, and things like that. So I often throw it in there if I need someone just to reground.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That's a good one to have.
Yeah, so it's just a quick fix. And if you've got your children sucking their thumbs, just sort of know that they're trying to anchor in. So is there another way you can anchor them in if they need to get off sucking their thumbs or having dummies? Do they need a cuddle? Do they need their shoes off? Do they need their feet in the ground? Do you need to take them to the park? Like, are they tired? Do they need to be a bit of skin to skin? Do they need to be held? Like us as human beings, when we're getting out of, it's just a way of coming back by, hey, I got you. That's okay. You can focus in on what you want. And it's not like a babyish thing. It's like an anchoring back in. And from an energetic point of view, it links into the third eye. It milks hormones through your whole body. It's just a great little technique to use.
I like that. Thank you.
Right into the central nervous system. So we're trying to reset your central nervous system to feel that this is what it's going to feel like to have these things.
Well, I love the marching as well, because what I really liked about it was how good my marching was compared to what it was when I first did marching many, many years ago.
And you can see how you're going too, can't you?
Yeah. It's a great indicator.
Yeah, and I got my son to march for his exams. I don't know if he did it, but it just feels like such a dumb thing to do. So
I think it's very underutilized as a tool and a technique to just to get that brain function happening.
It's brain function.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
guys, thank you for that. So I'll just let you know again, there's a new platform coming. I mentioned at the beginning of the call, and it's Entrepreneur Clearing the Fear classes. And we know that 80% of your success comes down to how you're feeling and what you're thinking. And so we're going to regularly clean it up so you can get some real momentum. If anyone that's been joining these trainings, I can track who's been joining them because you've been going to the opt-ins. You'll get 10% off this. So, but you've got to message me for that, and I'll give you a link for that. And that finishes on the 1st of Jan. So it's going to be I think it's going to be really cool. It's not coaching, so it's not on strategy. It's not coaching. It's just showing up and making sure that you keep momentum. I was talking to one of my old clients today, and she said, I did be doing a whole lot of other stuff, but I haven't been able to keep alignment. And so she's been taking 2 steps forward, or something that she set up 2 years ago, she hasn't got set up yet, because she kept, these fears would come up, or these emotions would come up. She couldn't get the clarity. So it's just a really lovely way for you guys to tap in, and it's once a week, so you're going to keep the momentum so you don't go backwards. Come in, let's clear that, let's clear that, let's clear that. It'll be a similar format where, you know, you'll just sort of share, people will share, you know, what that might mean for them, but it won't be kind of coaching on strategy or brand or all that stuff, all that juicy stuff that you know that I do as well. There's other programs for that. But if you just want to come and keep clear and keep in clarity and keep in flow, this would be a great subscription for you to join. So I look forward to having any of you guys there. Okay, so we've got one more free class. It's on Wednesday in America, Thursday in Australia, and it's the beautiful class. I haven't written it yet. I'm waiting for the divine inspiration on that because it's going to be very, very, very special class where you let everything go. You let it go to God or let it go to good, where it's even better than what you thought it was going to be. So I'm hoping for some really beautiful shifts for you on that class. And we'll move into that beautiful space just in time for Christmas. So thank you so much for coming. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate that, you know, many of you have been coming to every single class so far, and that means a lot to me, and I hope you've got an immense amount out of it. So thank you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jen.